Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Wands Tarot. My name is Carmen, and today we have a reading for you about somebody that is maybe hearing gossip about themselves. It's like we've got a whole line of people playing telephone, and a story is being shared from group to group or person to person. And by the time it gets back around to you, you think that it's almost comical. There's some things that get lost in translation, right? So, this is a reading about gossip, and I do feel like it's about you or someone that's close to you, right? Let's see what let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. And I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, let me know. My email address is in the description box for you. It's wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can also find out how to become a member in the description box. You can also find out how to locate my candles on Etsy. So let's dive in. I think we will start with. What do we want to start with? I think we'll go with the Masonic Tarot. All right. Just know that in this tarot deck, the Earth sign correlates to mallets, and fire signs correlate to gold, which is just a little bit confusing. And yes, this is pre-recorded, and by the time you see this, I will have been missing you dearly. So I hope you're having a good day. All right, what do we have? We have the Page of Gold, which is the Page of Wands, the Six of Gold, or Six of Wands, and Death in the reverse. Okay. So now I'm seeing the dad from Big Fish, or like the main character of the movie Big Fish. Someone who's a good storyteller, someone who's very charming, someone who gets a lot of attention and kind of like lives in it, but I don't know, is it detrimental? There just seems to be almost like a legendary element to whoever I'm reading about. Maybe this is someone you're related to or someone you're dating. But it's like long after this person has left a workplace or left a community, maybe even divorced someone, there are people who still tell stories, right? About like, oh my god, you remember that one time they brought home donuts? And like, there's people who still mention your name even though you're not around. Queen of Gold, which is the Queen of Wands, Strength, and the Five of Gold or Five of Wands in the reverse, Nine of Swords. Okay, so this seems to me like we've got people who are talking about how even though you've been gone for a while, even though you've been building a new life, maybe even working on a new project or dating someone new, you're off doing your own thing, and other people are talking about you with someone who I think feels like you're the one that got away. The Five of Wands in the reverse is I can't find anybody that compares to you. I've tried to, date. I've tried to put myself out there, and I'm just like really not impressed with what's out there. They think about you, they compare other people to you. Take it how it resonates. You're either the person who everyone's talking about, or maybe you're connected to that person. But I do think we've got someone who's made it kind of obvious that they're not really interested in dating someone new because after dating you, it's kind of difficult to consider other options like valid. So we have the Two of Mallets and the Two of Gold, the two that I was telling you about at the beginning, right? So we've got someone who is very focused on making sure things are settled, things are balanced. There's plans that are set in motion and actions being taken. With the Three of Cups in the reverse, I feel like this is because someone is doing things on their own. Maybe I have to move out of that shared residence by myself and nobody's willing to help me move the couch. Maybe this is someone who's deciding after a long time of living in my hometown, now I'm ready for a new adventure. I'm going to move across the country or I'm going to move to a new city. With the Lovers in the reverse, I do feel like there's a breakup, there's an ending. It doesn't have to necessarily be a romantic breakup. It could just be, you know, I decided I didn't really want to continue to be that person's roommate, or I decided I needed to like venture out on my own and maybe not be attached at the hip with somebody, romantically or platonically. So we have the Seven of Gold, which is the Seven of Wands in the reverse, and the Eight of Wands. So now we've got that chatter, right? The people who are talking about this, they're saying we've got somebody here who's brokenhearted and not interested in connecting with other people because they can't get over this Queen of Wands. There's too much for them that seems real, or there's, you know, a really big difference between what they had in this relationship and what they think they can get with other people. So it does kind of seem like a bit of judgment from friends or family that are saying, oh, I don't know, maybe that person's like kind of a lost cause because they don't really seem to want to get to know anybody else. They're in love with so-and-so even though they haven't seen him in years. All right. What else do we have? We have the Tower, the Eight of Swords in the reverse, and the High Priestess in the reverse. I feel like there's somebody here who is messing up the story. Like I said with the telephone game, right? There's little details that are getting added on, or commentary that is seen as, you know, gospel when it's really not. Because there's something that's changing here. Is this about someone getting into a relationship? Queen of Cups. Okay. So they talk highly of you. They feel like you were a good person, or you treated, you know, their friend or their family member well. You're not around these people anymore, but they've put you on a little bit of a pedestal, right? And now it's like someone is saying, are you going to like actually go after that Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands? Are you going to let them know that you're still in love with them? Or are you just going to sit here and reject every other person on the planet and make it clear that, you know, you're not over them? So we might have a little bit of an intervention from the family, like, hey, let's down and have a chat, you know. Gosh, it's been years since you dated that one person there, and it looks like really not interested in anybody else. So what's going on? What can we do? How are you going to change this? Like, are you ever going to date again? What's the story here? Okay, this is the Love Oracle. What else do we have about this Queen of Wands and their admirer or their ex? Only you. If I'm going to be in a relationship, the only person I would consider being in a relationship with is this Queen of Wands. Everybody else need not apply. No, thank you. Not interested. Because I'm obsessed with my Queen of Wands. That's the only person that I could see myself being happy with. Keep in mind, the Queen of Wands does not have to be a woman, right? That could be anybody who has this like kind of magical energy that people find to be unforgettable. Well, very much so. Same with this person. I would say they've come through as the High Priestess in the reverse because they're kind of avoiding things, not necessarily listening to their intuition. There's definitely someone who has a strong like physical attraction to the Queen of Wands, and probably watches very closely any social media posts, especially if they are pictures. I think this is someone who messed up because they were not willing to commit to the Queen of Wands. And everyone's kind of like making fun of them. Like, I bet you wish you had committed to them now. Now that you have that benefit of 2020, right? Like the ability to look back and see what's going on. Now you feel trapped because you actually ruined your own chances with this person. I don't know, man. These friends or family members seem kind of cruel. They're just like kind of pointing and laughing or taunting this person like, oh yeah, you're going to get a second chance? You're going to find a way to make some amends? talk to that Queen of Wands again? What's going to happen? You certainly aren't interested in anybody else, so we're just like expecting that at some point you're going to talk to that person. This is the Cook's Tarot. What else do we have? Queen of Pentacles, Two of Wands. I think this is somebody who's realizing that our Queen of Wands, Queen of Cups, also Queen of Pentacles, has been working on something, following a plan or a strategy, maybe getting a new job, finding a new place to live, finding a new community, joining a book club. There's things that are going well for this person, even as the friends and family members of their ex acknowledge that their life has kind of gone into a tailspin. Empress in the reverse and the Five of Cups. So we have one person over here who's like, hey, everything's great. I've just been working on what I need to, keeping my head down, focused on my priorities with work or, making sure my family's okay. Everything's great. People are talking great about this Queen of Wands, Queen of Pentacles. And then we have the ex, the other person in this relationship, seen as the Empress in the reverse, not able to process emotions. So they didn't communicate or, show those positive, loving type emotions to this Queen of Wands or this Queen of Pentacles. They were not willing to commit. And as a result, now they're dealing with not being able to manage their unhappy emotions. That distance that they feel with the Queen of Wands that has really bothered them is causing them to kind of struggle to stay motivated or show up to work on time. I don't like that there are people like mocking them, but these are people who are saying you had your chance. Why'd you mess it up? You had the person that would be your dream girl, your dream guy, and then you fumbled it. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Because you were insecure, because you didn't know if you should commit, because you talked yourself into, some sort of paranoia. I feel like there's people here who are saying you ruined a good thing, and they're not being very kind about it. All right, this is the Noisy Tarot. Let's see what else we've got for you. Ten of Cups in the reverse. Queen of Wands in the reverse. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. I think this is just kind of mean. People taunting. I don't know if it's really just the Queen of Wands in the reverse, the High Priestess in the reverse, but it's like, you're not good enough. You were not on the same level. That person's out of your league. That's why things didn't work out. What is this, high school? Seven of Cups, Queen of Cups in the reverse. Okay, so people are talking highly of this Queen of Wands after they're no longer around, after a relationship ended, probably with one of their friends, right? But the thing is, the way that they're talking positively about this Queen of Wands seems to be kind of about the physical attraction. Like, man, you really messed it up with that person. They were really hot. Why would you do that? Since they don't like you, I wonder if they would like me. So you guys are really done, right? Would you mind if I see if there's any chance that they would be into me instead? That's what this seems like. I think there's friends and family who genuinely like this Queen of Wands and felt like they were quite the catch for the High Priestess in the reverse. But now that the Queen of Wands has moved on and is Queen of Pentacling it, getting things sorted, making plans, taking action towards goals. There's other people talking about this ex of the High Priestess, and like, well, they're looking pretty good. I might have to go and see, if they're single. I might have to go and ask them if they want to go to the movies. Another High Priestess in the reverse. Huh. So I think this is, hey, so you ruined it with that person. Are you going to try again? Are you going for a second chance? Or like other people are probably going to go talk to the Queen of Wands if you're not going to. So where are you at with that? Like, Ace, get off the pot. Seven of Pentacles, Five of Wands. Like, if it ain't you, that's cool, but there are other people that are interested, and as long as you're not standing in the way, or as long as we're not like ruining something you got planned, then I think we're gonna shoot our shot here. There's multiple people who are interested in this Queen of Wands in a romantic sense after a breakup, and many of them know the person the Queen of Wands was dating beforehand. Knight of Swords in the reverse. Page of Swords in the reverse, and the Page of Cups. So it looks like we've got some argument breaking out. Someone who's maybe been just a little bit too flippant or disrespectful. Like, hey, you were done with that person, right? So fair game, right? Like the kielbasa sausage. Page of Cups. I think we've got someone who's getting rather combative or losing patience because they feel like obviously they're going to try for a second chance with this Queen of Wands. What do you mean you're interested? You need to like give me some time. These friends or romantic rivals feel like they've already waited long enough. They're like, yeah, I don't know, this person's not in a relationship and I don't feel like it's going to last very long, that they're single. So if you're not going to do anything about it, then I will. Maybe this lights a little bit of a fire under their bum. This is the situations deck. What else do we have? Poison. Cleansing, realization, single commitment interview. So, hey, I'm not toxic or anything, but it sure looks like maybe you aren't dating that person anymore. We have the High Priestess in the reverse, realizing I've surrounded myself with people that I can't necessarily trust. They're all like kind of chomping at the bit, looking for an opportunity to try to get in a relationship with the person that I'm still pining over, the person who I'm still in love with, because they feel like I'm not going to be able to get a second chance, or they feel like I've taken too long. This is someone who didn't want to admit to themselves. Yeah, see, this is the card I thought I was going to see. There's an argument here because I thought you all would be respectful of the fact that I'm still not over this Queen of Wands. And here we are. There's probably multiple people here who are saying they want to pursue the Queen of Wands since I can't apparently get motivated to pursue that second opportunity or apologize and see if the Queen of Wands is still interested. These other friends are like, hey, you had your chance. I'm going to hit that person up. I'm going to, ask him out. This is the What's the News Oracle. What else do we have? Extra, dramatic, trying too hard, starter. Now I'm hearing prodigy, fire starter. Yeah, this is someone who's like, I don't care if I hurt your feelings. I don't care if you feel bad. I'm going to make fun of you because you had a good thing and you ruined it. And if you're actually done, if you're not going to go and try to make things better, then I'm going to swoop in there. I'm going to take some real fast moving over to that Queen of Wands and express my own interest. This is what starts the argument. Puzzled, confused, perplexed, conflicted. Wait a second, what are you mad about, High Priestess in the reverse? I thought you were done with the Queen of Wands. You haven't even talked to them in weeks or months. So how are you going to be mad if I decide I want to go after this person? I don't know that I agree with how they view that. We all have to have our own standards and communicate what we think is respectful or not respectful. But this does feel to me like it's disrespectful. But they're pretending, it's like they're playing coy, like, oh, excuse me, I didn't know I could offend you. I thought you didn't care about that. It looked like it wasn't yours anymore. Karmics, third parties, haters, lesson learned. Are these really friends? Because they kind of seem more like haters. They kind of seem like the goal here is to ruffle some feathers and be like, I'm going to get lucky. I'm going to go pursue that person because you messed up and it's my lucky day. So our High Priestess in the reverse is feeling combative, stressed out, anxious. They don't want this other person or other people to be pursuing the Queen of Wands. They're still very much so in love with this Queen of Wands. Feeling like maybe, just maybe, we can get back together, right? All right, let's get a little bit more from the perspective of the High Priestess in reverse about this Queen of Wands. This is the Burning Heart Love Oracle. What else do we have? I can't let you go. I have been working on myself. You're always on my mind. I'm afraid of commitment. There it is. So even though I told you I didn't think I could handle the commitment, or I backed away when you brought it up in conversation, the truth is I haven't stopped thinking about how things would be better if I had just, you know, been willing to do it, to be in that relationship with you. Because now I'm left missing you or wondering what you're getting into, who you're hanging out with, and I can't hold you. I can't be near you anymore. I hate seeing you with them. I think somebody does actually go and try to take out the Queen of Wands, a friend. It's like, yeah, I know you were dating my friend for like 3 months, but it's no big deal, right? It's been like 2 months since then, but I always thought you were attractive. Let's see what's going on. I'm headed right to you. I'm in the neighborhood. Let me stop by. I'm on my way to you. This is, yeah, a lot of potential for explosive conversation or anger or the end of a friendship. We have, I need to tell you the truth. I'm holding on to the memories of you, and the distance between us kills me. So it could be that this anger or this like kind of taunting that's coming from friends is motivating the High Priestess in the reverse to realize I can't just sit here and like wallow in my own misery. I can't act like Sherlock Holmes in that movie with Robert Downey Jr. where what's his face? Watson has to like open all the shades because, you know, he was in a little bit of a hermit mode. This is someone who's realizing, okay, I gotta go talk to this Queen of Wands. I gotta make my intentions known, and if there's a possibility of resolving this or reconciling, cool. But I don't want to watch these other people try to move in on you or try to see if they could have a relationship with you. So it might actually get them to take action on something that they've been procrastinating on. But I also feel like it could lead to a few friendships not making it into the end of the year. All right, I will leave that there. I encourage you to use your intuition. You've got a great one. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you in the next reading. Toodles.